Hi, I'm
Hi.
Sébastien from Profilprog.com. I'm glad to welcome you, Stuart, from Abel Ganz, the Scottish band, the famous Scottish band. How are you tonight?
I'm very well, thank you very much. And yourself, are you okay?
I'm okay in France, despite COVID-19. It's life. First of all, let's talk about your brand new album, The Life of the Honey Bee and Other Moments of Clarity. How is the feedback so far for you?
Been absolutely fantastic. We've been bowled over. It's been really, really positive. The feedback from the record. Lots of people commenting. Obviously, with everybody's on Facebook and what have you. So it's immediate. As soon as these CDs and albums are coming through the letterbox and people are listening, they're straight onto Facebook and they really love it. So we've been really fortunate with the comments so far.
And pre-sales were necessary to make possible this album. Were you surprised by the success you made with pre-sales?
Yeah. Yes, because as you alluded to a minute ago with the COVID-19 situation and everybody being in lockdown and then some people's jobs not being, whatever. So we didn't know whether anybody would put money up front or not. And as it is, been absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, a lot more than the last record, a lot more successful with that and the last record. So we are very chuffed. So thank you, everybody.
It's a love demonstration for you.
Water.
Water, not whiskey, not Scottish whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Later in the evening, maybe. And you just released Abel Ganz 6 years ago. Why did you wait such a long time to record a new album? 6 years, it's a long time.
No, we used to say back in the day, in the 1980s, that Def Leppard took an awful long time between records, but that was nothing compared to what we have done. I think it's just the coming together of ideas and new personnel in the band. I don't know if you're aware, but we have a new guitarist, a new keyboard player since the last record. So we have the new guitar player and the old guitar player, and it's the same with keyboards all on this record. So it's taken a bit of time just to get everything together. And of course, you sit on ideas for a while and the change, and you think, that's not so good. Maybe we should change this. And just tweak things and just other ideas, and it's just taking that time. I mean, we have done a few gigs, and Dennis Smith, our kind of ringleader, drummer, boss, he has been running the Prog Before Christmas gig in Glasgow the last few years, and we've been in America and Canada and Holland since the last record as well. So. And we're all family people, so we've got other responsibilities as well. So time flies,
Yes, and the record is very different. What is risky for you to make an album so much different from Abel Ganz 6 years ago, which was very successful?
I don't know. I mean, I think there are elements there. If you take a song like One Small Soul, which is quite folky, acoustic orientated song, and compare that with the likes of Thank You from the last record, there's similarities there. There's a long kind of prog epics as well. So there are similarities there. I guess maybe with new people coming in, it's slightly different. But we have so many influences in the band as well, and we all want to get these on the table. I play a lot of acoustic guitar, but I like playing a lot of kind of like metal guitar as well. You see, so I kind of try and slip it in there, and more often or not, it's like, no, we don't need that.
Okay.
So lots of different ideas, and some work and some don't work.
And this is your first concept album so far. What is the story about? I just love that word, hope for what is next and a lament for what we have lost. Can you explain the story behind?
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Basically, I don't know. Yes, the best I can. How long have we got? I guess the main song, the title song, The Life of the Honeybee and Other Moments of Clarity, I wrote the lyrics specifically about my dad who passed away during the recording of this record and about my upbringing. So it was very much a case of picking memories and ideas from the past and trying to be optimistic. I didn't want it to be a negative statement. I wanted it to be a kind of celebration. So that if you read through the lyrics of that song, by the time you get to the end of the song, it's very much a celebration of my dad's life and looking forward. Some of the other songs, Sepia and White, much the same kind of idea. It's about moving forward, maybe making decisions that are not the right decisions, but then having the presence of mind and the strength to kind of go back and pick up, further back in the past and change course, I suppose. And I suppose that's a theme that kind of runs through. There is a theme that runs through the whole record, and I hope we've captured that. Okay, obviously there's no kind of thematic structure to the record, but it's all kind of similar thread through the whole record. The same with One Small Soul as well. Yeah, so in that respect, yeah. I mean, some of the lyrics in Sepia and White, the bit in the middle, I sing I Remember You, 1992, Sepia
Yes.
and White. It's all about remembering that, which sometimes, as I'm sure you know yourself, seems like yesterday in many respects,
Yes,
but it's very far away. And it's also about taking that on board and still moving forward beyond that, realising what you've got today, because I mentioned my children in the song and parents and very much moving for memories to be made, that kind of idea. So quite an optimistic kind of theme, I think.
Yes, and musically speaking, it's a perfect blend of influences. But when I listen to you, I can feel Scotland in your music. I can feel passion, music, but I can feel Scotland. What do you think? I really love you.
Thank you very much. I guess, again, going back to the influences of the band, I love folk music, specifically Scottish folk music, as well as big hair 80s metal music, as I've alluded to before. So there is that influence. I play a lot of acoustic guitar in the house, and just band. I don't know if you've heard. So there, next, Dennis is a big Joni Mitchell fan, so there's lots of acoustic elements, but in terms of the Scottishness, I don't know. I mean, the run rig thing. You get bands like Big Country, Stuart Adamson, his riffs were very kind of traditional Celtic sounding riffs, and even Gary Moore to an extent, he did Out in the Fields and all that kind of stuff. There was lots of Celticness going on there, because an Irishman, So it's just that kind of coming together of lots of different elements. If you can hear a Scottishness in it, that's marvellous. That's great.
Yes, but because the first time I listened to Abel Ganz, I closed my eyes and I could feel the sea, the water, Scotland, the lakes, the Northern Sea. You understand what I mean? It's quite powerful.
Yeah. Well, I guess getting to the age we're at, you know your influences, and not just musical influences, but people who have influenced you and places that you've gone as well. My better half, my partner, she's from the Isle of Lewis, which is in the Western Isles of Scotland, and we go up there a lot, and we've been up there many, years, So there's, and we've got friends that are traditional musicians, And I guess you take on these kind of aspects that I find myself sitting out on a hill on the Isle of Lewis writing lyrics as well. It's very good for the head. So maybe that rubs off as well, you know. The smell of the sea breeze.
Yes, refreshing.
Yes.
And how did you learn music or were introduced to music as a child?
Well, believe it or not, and not a lot of people know this, but back in the 1970s, I was a very big fan of ABBA. Right. Now, every Christmas, my mum and dad got us the ABBA album. So in the 70s, when I was, 7, 8, 9 years of age, it was ABBA. So it was big pop songs, big melodies, great arrangements. And then I discovered this wee guy in shorts and a school uniform playing a Gibson SG with horns on his head in the shape of Angus Young. Right.
A Scottish guy.
Yes, a Scottish guy, yes, indeed. So I decided I wanted to play guitar. I had gone and done classical piano when I was a child as well. But at 13, 14, my hair started to grow. And I wanted to play the guitar as well rather than the piano. And I'm totally grateful for getting the chance to play the piano because I can still play it and it comes in handy in recordings and things. So I taught myself guitar and I was into metal and rock. And I'm a big Marillion fan, believe it or not, as well. And obviously you can see Ian Anderson there as well from Jethro Tull. So all these different aspects.
Just a moment. For you.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey, fantastic. Yeah. Party, yes. So, I'm still a big Marillion fan. I go to all the conventions and all the gigs and the rest of it. So, so in the early 80s, I kind of taught myself to play the guitar, grew my hair, and I think I thought I was in Motley Crue at one time as well. And it was kind of like taking on different styles. I loved King's X and the Dan Reed Network. Remember Dan Reed Network in the 1980s? I don't know if you remember them at all. So that they were kind of pop metal things. So that was, and I was playing all these different styles and that kind of thing. Well, trying to play all these different styles. not always so good.
And how was the recording process and your work with Simon Weinstock? The result is just fantastic.
It is. I can't claim any credit for that whatsoever. Dennis is the one who tells me... And Dennis,
of course.
Yes, Dennis tells me what to do. He'll say, stand there and sing into that microphone. And then we'll do it again for another 100 times. So, so it was very much building... We would go in with an idea, and then sometimes Dennis or myself would say, that could be a wee harmony there, or a wee harmony there, and then we just try things, and sometimes we would be in the right place at the right time, and we would just nail it there and then. That didn't always happen. I had to sometimes go back and redo things, but the ideas were there, and it was very much a case of spending a long time doing the music, but vocally, we changed things around. I changed melodies around quite a bit, and we changed little bits of lyrics around. So, in that respect, it was kind of work in progress. And then, obviously, Dennis kind of produced it all, and then gave it to Simon, which is just fantastic. But I can't take any credit for that whatsoever.
And could you have some word for the special guest? I would say especially Emily Smith. Your voice combination with her is just incredible.
It worked really, really well. I have to say, again, it was Dennis's idea to approach Emily and get a female voice. Oh man, we went into this studio in Glasgow, and she was standing in the booth in front of me, going over and over, getting the harmonies right, and it was just sounding fantastic. And that was very much in the raw because it was just her there singing along to the track. But I have to say, when I heard it back after it had all been sorted and put down, I mean, goose pimples on my arms, you know, because for me, to have something like, I've never sung a duet with a female singer like that, and an accomplished female singer to do it, you know, so just fantastic. And I think you're right. I think the voices quite suit each other quite well. You know, I don't think they clash at all. Yeah. So it's just the way it worked out. It's great. Great idea.
And do you have any plan for touring with Abel Ganz in Europe, in Scotland, of course, but in Europe?
Well, I have to say, we have already cancelled 2 gigs because of this virus.
Yes.
We were meant to be going to Germany in April there to do the Art Rock Festival, and we would have had an album launch gig in Glasgow at some point soon as well. So these have all had to be shelved. So we're hoping that next year we'll get out and about. We will definitely get out and about and play live. Yeah, obviously, with people hearing the record and people liking the record so far, you know, that should stand us in good stead to go out and do gigs elsewhere. I can't wait. I mean, I love playing live. That's great, you know. But we'll see. I mean, as soon as this virus is over, who knows how long that's going to take. We'll just, because we have actually played a lot of these songs previously.
Yes.
Years, so it'd be lovely to do gigs now where people are actually knowing the songs well, as opposed to hearing them for the first time on stage and don't really know them. Which I have to say, the song "Thank You," which I'm sure you're familiar with, but "Thank You," we always play that as an encore, and it always goes down well. And it amazes me because, I mean, I wrote that song a wee while ago, and again, that song was about my parents, but it's so humbling to when you hear people singing along to a song that you've written, and also when you get feedback from people and they say, for example, I spoke to a chap last year who said that was his wedding song, you know. So for me, it's like, you know, that's my job done, you know.
Yes, of course, yes. The job is done.
Job is done, and it's very humbling and very satisfying, and to have people in front of you. I mean, I always hold the microphone out to the crowd, and they all sing the song for me, which, you know, it's stuff of dreams, really. Which, you know, I'm totally appreciative of. You know.
You know why? It's just because you do music with your heart.
Yeah. That's it, right? Yeah. So, I guess that's the thing. I mean, I guess if you do a song, you write a song that, like you say, is personal to you and it comes from experience, or it comes from something that you're passionate about, it does make a difference, you know, very much so. So, yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you. One last question for you, a special one.
Yeah.
What would be the song you wish you had written? In the story of music. In the story of music. The song you wish you had written.
Well, there are a number of songs. I listen to stuff and I go, how on earth did they do that?
Two songs. Songs.
I think one would have to be maybe Guinevere by Crosby, Stills and Nash, which is just a beautiful song, you know. Another song, let me think. I don't really. I have to say, Michael Ackerfeld in Opeth writes some amazing stuff. If I could write anything like that, do you know? He writes some great stuff. I mean, sometimes when I listen to Opeth, I don't always remember the song titles, but or even something like Sentimental, Stephen Wilson, Porcupine Tree, something like that. It's just great melodic, powerful songs. Hopefully stand the test of time, you know. So I hope that answers your question. But I'll probably think of something else when I come up here.
And the band you will have loved to be a member?
Oh my goodness, the
One
band I'd
band.
love to. One band.
Or two? Two bands.
So, well, I would love to have been a member of Led Zeppelin, just to see what actually was going down there. Do you know, just to have them, to see them talk their ideas out, think their ideas out, where it all came from, and be part of that. That would be fantastic. The other thing, I suppose, I'm actually reading the autobiography or biography of King X just now. An amazing story. If anyone hasn't got that book, they should go and get it. It's just called King's X. But maybe part of King's X, you know, and see what's going on there, because the way they wrote songs, it's funny actually listening to them talking. You would think it's quite conflicting, you know, someone to no, I wrote that one. No, I wrote that one. No. So it'd be quite interesting, because I love 𝙤𝙤𝙝𝙚 guitar playing as well, and that's all these different tunings that they played in. That'd be interesting. Yeah.
And that's all, folk. Thank you very much, Stuart, for this interview for, I repeat, Profilprog.com. I wish you all the best and all the success you deserve.
That's very kind of you. Pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
So thank you very much. Bye bye.